People are lining up here. Look at that.
What?
Look at that. Look at that. They have it outside too.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Look at that.
Bitchin'.
That's PlayStation. That's awesome. Look at the back. Shit. Welcome everyone to Ultimate Gamer Podcast episode 41.
And we're absolutely positively sure it's 41 this time.
Exactly, but what
Promise.
we're not sure of is whether or not YouTube will rip this fucking video down.
Yeah, well, that's we're going to roll the dice on this one.
Oh, yeah.
As you know, we're going to be posting this not only on YouTube, but where else?
Vimeo.
Yep.
Just
Part
for
of
the time being.
Part of the transition into, we honestly don't know, do we?
Oh, I managed to make a episode 1 through 40 montage. And this is just like random segments of episodes.
Dude, we need to
1
put
through
that
40.
as a special edition for a DVD when we reach like 50.
No, we're not doing a DVD. Fuck no. No, but I will upload that montage. Maybe this weekend I'll upload it to
It's a
YouTube.
montage.
Because it's actually really funny because I had to do it. I took the part where we sent the My Little Pony DVD. I put that in that montage. I just had to do
nice.
it. Which, by the way, Kevin's been playing League of Legends lately. He forgot to discontinue me being his friend on that, so...
Oh, there we go.
The funny thing is he's a level 5 and I'm a level 30. That's right.
Apparently, some things just never come to an end.
No. I don't know if there's like exciting news. I mean, it seems pretty draggy and boring.
Good news, everyone.
Wait,
Not
there
much,
is good news. Well, partly, I'm going to be putting a photo up at this point. Ta-da! That actually is a picture of the building in which they are having the launch party for PS4. And this is the same building that contains Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, that douchebag, and a bunch of other people.
Moriarty.
I mean, look, Mark Cerny is inside this building that I have a picture of. Now, who took the picture? I did, because I work in New York City, folks, and I happened to pass this building, and I remember seeing when IGN was like showing like video footage or something early on this week. I'm like, I know that building. and it's not even a like popular landmark at all. It's just a rundown 1960s hotel that happens to sit on the Henry Hudson Parkway. That's it. I mean, that's just the way it is. So they had the most amazing light show going off on it. They literally had blue lights in a few of the windows, and they were pulsating in and out. And then they had on the side of the building, they had a giant LCD screen that was showing off pictures of like Marvel superheroes. It was such a fucking awesome thing. But like, I just like, part of me just wanted to jump out of the car and just break myself into this party.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
But
well,
if you do have pictures, I would say, hey, dude, post them up while we're talking about this. But I know for a fact that's probably going to be taken down.
yeah, right? Because apparently Sony owns the copyright of a 1960s built building in New York City.
Probably.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's an exciting time because, you know, the last time we had this was 7 years ago. I mean, hey, I was a senior in high school when the PS3 launched.
I was working at, I don't even want to remember.
You were working at GameStop.
I lived through both launches. It was not a fun time in my life at all. Not at all.
Exactly. And if you guys have any questions about how horrible it was working for GameStop, please ask Andy.
You know what? If we do one of those, like, Ask Me Anything on Google,
Hangouts?
what's it called? Yeah, we should do a Hangout.
No, I'm dead serious. I am really open to doing Google Hangouts. I've seen how it's worked for other people on YouTube and stuff where you could have people join in, talk to us. I mean, I think it should be the future of our podcast.
The only download, of course, is that it's going to go directly onto YouTube. So there's that. But yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I mean, it
But
takes
yes,
all the,
we
it takes
should
all
definitely-
the work out of it. I mean, the only thing is I'm not setting up a webcam. I mean, you
If we
can't
get
make me.
enough groundswell from our viewing audience then we'll definitely seriously think about this.
It's hard to do that these days because no one likes the new fucking comment system, which, by the way,
Yeah, that's true.
the founder of YouTube, he's only had 2 posts in his entire ownership and whatever up until now. He had the very first video on YouTube, and then he has not done anything up until last week, where he wrote, "Why the fuck do I need Google Plus to make a comment?"
Oh, snap.
And then what's funny is everyone replies to that, "Why the fuck did you sell this to Google?"
Well,
Well,
for
he can give
lots of
he can give
money.
us all 400 million reasons.
Yeah. Each and every single one of us, 10 times over.
But no, that's just funny with that. But it just seems like I actually think they might be doing a 180 on the comments, because I've noticed that from time to time the comments just revert back to their old form. It's really weird. So even though it's a brand new video being released like today, it will have the old commenting system. So I don't know. Maybe they'll finally get Google to get their head out of their ass and just understand that this was a poor move. But
Highly doubtful. But hey, there's always hope.
there is.
Now, speaking of the pièce de résistance, the focus of tonight's episode, since tomorrow is in fact the release of the beloved, the hated, the I don't really give a shit PS4, PlayStation 4.
Well, we're
entertainment
gonna
system.
talk. Yeah, the PS4 launch day is tomorrow, which we're gonna do what no one else has done before. We're gonna track my package.
Dude, it came out my nose. Oh, it burns. Tonight is whiskey, but it burns.
Okay, in transit,
God.
on schedule. Expected delivery Friday, November 15th.
Chivas Regal, by the way. 18-year Chivas Regal for anyone
Okay, it looks like my package is now in Horsham, Pennsylvania.
Woo! Pennsylvania. Insert sports team here. Woo! I don't know. That's usually how people remember. Speaking of packages, and I don't mean my penis.
Oh, God.
I did, in fact, jump on the bandwagon. I ordered this before I heard and saw the horrors of
That's
YouTube.
right, folks. He bought a strap-on. Congratulations.
Oh, no. The Dragon Strap-on's already here with the, reservoir tip, but that's a different story. No, I made the jump to the Nexus 5. Bought it 48 hours after it hit the market because on the first day I was at work and the second day I didn't know. No, the first day at work I did know, and I was on the site and I was like back and forth whether I was going to order it. But then at the next day I was too busy to fucking think about it. Third day, boom, made the order. As of right now, they're sold out.
Yep.
Completely. You can put in your order, but it's going to take about a month and a half to 2 months before they even consider sending them out again. The most sold out ones were, in fact, the 16 gigabit black ones, but they're out. Huh. Now, from early tests from the first few people that have been trying it out since it arrived, it's now been voted officially, 3 or 4 days after it went on sale, the best phone to get for any service that is not Verizon, because it's built specifically to not work with Verizon.
You know what? I had my moment today. You know that moment where, when you're made fun of for switching to a lower end carrier, and then you have that moment where you kind of prove a point. Okay, now in New York City, for some reason, Verizon has a bad habit of not being usable in certain buildings.
Yes.
T-Mobile, for some other reason, works perfectly everywhere you are.
It's the type of band because Verizon's pushing everything. And by the way, it's official news as of yesterday that every phone that's going to be Verizon is now going to be tri-band, which is their new...
it's LTE Advanced.
Yeah, which is... It's, by the way, although it's only been partially tested, it's simply been bought up only by them because they're the only carrier that's thinking or sticking to their guns when it comes to something like that. While this is, of course, shooting ahead of the whole planned IPO system that Google and a whole bunch of other companies like Comcast have been working towards, providing internet and cellular service on the TV bands that aren't being used. But this is
that's smart.
Yeah, it is, but this is straight fringe out stuff that if you don't understand any of the words I'm saying, it's not really going to be important to you until a few years later when it's dumbed down to your level. But for now...
Back to what I was trying to say. We're in Starbucks.
Tracker package. Oh, oh, you're talking about the phone. Yeah, go back. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going back to the phone. I was saying that, I was in Starbucks today, and
In New York at a Starbucks. What
oh
a
yeah,
surprise.
woo. Hey, they have an awesome gingerbread latte. It was fucking great. I loved it. I loved it. It's a new flavor for this year. It is excellent. Try it.
My favorite one is usually the holiday one, the
Yeah.
peppermint mocha chip latte. Yeah, you already know
Yes, I
that.
know. So what happens is my friend, he has Verizon. He just got a Galaxy S4, which he is in limbo at the moment because he absolutely despises TouchWiz, but he also upgraded the device's firmware to a point where it can't be cracked right now. So
Yep.
he's stuck with it.
Da, da,
But
da.
he wanted to download the Facebook app to get a coupon for the what do you call it, the Starbucks. Well, the App Store was like loading painfully slow. And I, as a joke, I start laughing hysterical. Like, well, do you want to tether off me? Because with T-Mobile, you get 2.5 gigs of free data per month, no extra charge, and then your phone itself gets unlimited data. So I'm like, here, I created a hotspot. It just says my iPhone, and he connects. Instantaneous download install of that application. He said it felt like his phone was connected to his home Wi-Fi.
Well, technically, actually, it could have been a little bit faster because if you think about the type of band and how close you are, especially in the city,
Yeah,
yeah, he may have actually been
I
faster
did. I
than.
did a speed test. I was getting 20 down and like 10 up, which is average on T-Mobile, which is fine. I mean, yeah, Verizon is faster in certain spots, but I've noticed, especially in New York, I've noticed that Verizon's service can be as low as like 5 down sometimes, depends where you are. But I just laugh my ass off because it's just like he's always giving me shit for switching to T-Mobile. And, the same thing happened earlier in the week. The one guy who always kept telling me unlimited data is not important. I don't need unlimited
Yes,
data.
yes, it
Well,
is.
he ran out of data, and he and I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, dude,
Apparently, it is important.
I'm like, I could throw you a lifesaver, man. Just connect to my
Tether.
hotspot. Do
Just
it.
tether so I can watch every single bit of data that goes out of your phone.
Yep. So the moral of the story is T-Mobile is not as bad as people have told
Moral
you.
of the story is don't get techie friends because they will screw you over. Just to make a point.
Exactly. This is how we get our kicks.
Pretty
I
much.
called it our e-penis, and we are
Yep.
measuring it on a daily basis.
Oh dear God, the measure.
Okay, now something else that gets measuring. PS4 games are getting horrible scores, and I mean horrible. This kind of reminds me of the PS Vita launch because I remember they overhyped the shit out of all the games, and then when they announce it, which is funny, this is Colin Moriarty in a nutshell. He will hype the shit out of a new console, hype the
Yeah, well, that's
shit
just like your
out of the new
opinion, man.
games, but then when the embargo lifts and it's time for him to put the pen to the paper to write a review,
It's
he just drops a shit bomb all over him. He's just like, well, this is bullshit. This is stupid. This is horrible. If only Sony spent more time doing this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what the fuck is it? It was like if you're bipolar. One minute you're like making sweet love
no, he's
sex to
not
the game, and then
bipolar.
the
He's
next minute you
smart.
want to stab it in the back.
The thing is that it can't deny the fact that Sony is buying good publicity. But
No
at least you
shit.
got to give.
No
At least
shit.
he's giving the rest of us kind of like a journalistic. Let's call it a journalistic speed bumper protector thingamajiggy.
No, what he did is he just jacked everyone off, and then once he hit the climax, he stopped. It was like, what the fuck?
No, he jacked people off when it came to the promotion of something that was already paid by Sony. But
Yeah,
when it
he's a
came to
whore.
actually him, of course, everybody's a whore. Get over yourself. We're all whores. It's only to certain degrees. Now, at least when it came down to the fact of him telling the public what he actually thought of the game once he played it, hey, okay. You got to give him props for that.
I will give him props for that. But that just means that the average score of the games I currently own for PS4 is not that great.
No, it's not. And has there ever been a launch title that was actually great?
Sure. Mario 64.
Okay, nostalgia vision, but sure, let's go with that.
It was
'Cause
it was great.
that's going to be an entire 2-hour argument about whether
Zelda Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess was good, but it wasn't great.
It was
It
a
was
hell
no
of a lot
Ocar-
better than Knack, which
was
got
no
a 5
Ocarina
out
of
of
Time.
10. Go on Metacritic.
I don't know what
Knack
the fuck Knack even is. Okay, I've seen it. I've played it a little bit. I still don't know what the fuck it is. Okay.
I mean, it's a crossbreed between Crash
Do you remember?
Bandicoot.
Do you remember a show in the late 2000s called Qubits that was
Yes.
on Fox? That was about a
Yes.
bunch of kids with robots, and one of the robots that supposedly was like super uber was just basically a whole bunch of bricks stuck together.
Yes.
Well, that's what came to mind when I saw Knack. Okay, so we got a robot. He's made of multiple parts. Hey, that's great. Why is this interesting? Why is this a thing? Is it a Katamari Damacy clone gone mecha? I don't know. I'm not on Mount Fuji's best, okay? I'm not smoking the ganja. So obviously I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid on this one.
I did. And now I
Good
have
for
buyer's
you.
remorse, and I haven't even popped the fucking disc into the
Well,
system
you know
yet.
what? Everyone has buyer's remorse. You know what happens? You sucker up. You suck it up and you move on, okay? We all knew this was going to happen. We all knew that launch titles were not going to be as great. The more people hype up something is usually the reason why they suck. When it came to Twilight Princess, there was hype, but
No
it was
shit.
Nintendo
There was a
hype.
ridiculous amount of hype for that game. Which it wasn't bad. Don't get
It
me wrong.
wasn't
It
bad.
was. It
I
wasn't
have
bad.
no way saying internet kiddies don't get your like knickers in a twist. I'm not saying Twilight Princess was bad. I'm saying Twilight Princess was good, but it wasn't. No, it was not an Ocarina of Time. Okay, and Ocarina of Time wasn't an Ocarina of Time. Looking back either, but it's a certain game that's in the moment, that's in the era, and we haven't had one in a while like that.
Which actually, the new Zelda Link Between Worlds is getting ridiculously good scores. I mean, like just a hair
Yeah.
off of being perfect. And
So
they
we're
say
gonna
it's the best Zelda game released since
And
Ocarina of Time.
That's fighting words. I got to see it for myself.
Oh, I already pre-ordered it.
Who knows? We may get lucky. But anyone who's already bought a PS4, don't freak out. I'm not going to get a PS4, and I still think that you are basically the same as Pawn Scum. But that doesn't mean that you should regret your purchase. You may not have the brains for a PC rig. You may not have the wits about you.
Whoa, what the fuck?
What are you fucking talking about? You already got a PC rig. You're just, a glutton for electronics.
Oh.
I'm talking about the rest of the populace. I'm talking about the fucking kiddies who are begging their parents to buy a PS4, or for the douchebag who thinks he's still cool because he games and he's getting a PS4 because it's hip. I'm talking about those people that's still dumb enough to listen to our podcast. They're the ones that are going to be affected by these reviews going out saying, hey, all the games right now suck. Hey, there's a lot of shit going wrong with the system. Something that they bought that they thought was going to be simple. That the same thing that every console advocate has been spouting from the beginning of why consoles are better than PCs, saying that it's simple, it just works. It's the Apple equivalent of gaming. You just plug it in and it
Bullshit.
works. No, it's not like that.
Exactly,
It's not like
because
that.
there are early reports of system hardware failure.
And we're not just getting it from one website. We're getting it from every
Even
review.
fucking IGN themselves released an article
And no
on
one
this.
knows how to coddle and suck a corporate cock like IGN. So when they're saying, hey, this is salty, you got to start thinking, hey, there may be something wrong with the initial batch. Could we be looking at a first-gen fuck-up like we saw in the PS3 release? Could we be looking at a manufacturing error like the launch of the Xbox 360, first and second generation? Who knows? Only time will tell, because we need to see more of these systems in the wild before we can actually say, hey, a large percentage of them fucked up. What the fuck, Sony? Commit disgruntled seppuku.
Well, that's true and all, but they actually had, with Sony, they actually had an article saying Sony replies. They said, quote, wait. The number of affected systems represents less than 0.4% of shipped units to date, which is within our expectations for a new product introduction. Now,
Isn't that nice?
this is where I'm going to have to call bullshit, because 0.4% of a million consoles shipped is 40,000 consoles. So you're telling me 40,000 people, day of launch, will get a fucked up console. That's not acceptable.
Nah, it is, actually.
I
by
don't think
market
it's.
standards,
I
it
do
is.
not think that's acceptable. Plus,
It's not acceptable to you
plus,
because as long as the possibility of you being one of the 40,000, then yeah, of course it's going to be
well,
unacceptable.
plus,
It's an outrage.
have you heard about the debacle about the joysticks? It turns out that the console, the controller, is having that the joysticks rubber pops off ridiculously
I
easy.
seen it. I seen it. I told you something wrong with the joysticks. I'm sorry to go all black on you, but I fucking knew it from the beginning that there was something iffy about the controller
Yeah,
joysticks.
it turns out a lot of people are complaining. Like a lot of people that were using the PS4 controller on their PS3 have noticed that the joystick, especially the left one because it's most used, pops off after a week of like mild use.
Now,
And
as you have used this controller, have you noticed any wonkiness?
no, I have not.
Then again, you aren't someone who's using them with Cheeto hands, so that may be
Not
another
only
thing.
that, I have a job, therefore I can't play all day long like some people. Yes. But the funny thing was is that somebody actually leaked an email, an internal email that was going around within Sony, and one of the things they said was that, well, we've already had 100 and something reports of the joysticks like fucking up, and they said, well, it's well within our tolerance or whatever, but you have to
They're going to keep
understand.
saying it's going to be well within their
Yeah, but
tolerance
no, but
levels.
this was an internal thing. But what's funny is you're talking about a controller that coincides with a console that isn't out yet.
Yeah, but remember that they kind of marketed the controller separate from the system. In fact, when we saw the announcement for the system, that we didn't even know what the system looked like. The only thing that was hard, like the only thing that was actually shown in that presentation was the controller. So you may have to think that the controller was developed a separate entity or a separate, I don't know, object the art, or it's a separate product. So it may just be that having different groups of people, since they, you know how they love to compartmentalize whenever they try to set up something in order to keep secrecy. I wouldn't be surprised if, in fact, internally these were two separate, different, completely unconnected projects, and it just came together in the end. Because you have to ask yourself the question from the beginning why we only saw the controller first and then the unit. And then when we only saw the unit, we only saw the unit itself. And then we saw it as a bundle pack. And now we're seeing that the freaking controller is for sale weeks before the release of the unit.
True.
I don't know.
But
It's just.
the other thing of concern is the console failure rate is amongst three issues that I have seen. I mean, these are things that people have reported. Just a black screen, which isn't really descriptive. Faulty
Okay.
GPUs, where you're seeing like partial picture flickering. And then there's another
Let's
one
just
where
assume people who say black screens are people who don't know how to turn on their television, which is not that rare or not that outlandish.
I know.
Never underestimate the stupidity of a large group of people. But moving along from that.
Third one is HDMI ports are malformed. They're including I think it was like Kotaku. They were saying that their PS4 they couldn't even stick an HDMI cable in all the way. Like there
Now,
was
this is Kotaku, so let's, take it with a grain of salt.
I believe it.
Since PS4 didn't come branded with Apple, they're going to be confused. They're more
Exactly.
at home with FireWire or
What is this new fucking technology?
oh my God, HDMI. I need an adult.
I well, you want to know the sad part about HDMI was I actually, not to make fun of the guy, but he asked me, "Is there a way to connect the PS4 to a standard def television?"
Yeah, I saw this question come up so many times, and there were people actually angry about this. No, who has that connection in a television in this day and age? If it's not fucking HDMI, dude, they give those cables out. Those cables used to cost money. Now they come with from fucking anything. What kind of question is that?
I don't own a single
That's
television that doesn't have
that's like someone
HDMI.
asking, "Hey, does this thing still work with a fucking dial-up connection?"
I'm mad because they don't support dial-up.
Yeah. I
Damn
don't.
you.
Damn you, your lack
That's
of
like
a
you know what it's like.
voice
It's like
over
someone
IP.
buying a. I've actually had someone say this. They bought a GTX 690 and they wanted to connect it via VGA, and you
Oh
just so badly
no!
want to like choke the life out of them with a spare VGA
Oh
cord.
god!
It's
Oh
like you
god!
just spent $1,000 on a graphics card. Why the fuck are you
Fuck are you
still
using
using
VGA?
VGA?
What is the screen the size of, I don't know, your thumbnail? What the fuck?
That's the same thing with DVI. I still have no respect for people that use DVI because I use strictly
Did anyone
DisplayPort.
ever actually use DVI? Because the amount
I
of times that
used to back in the day,
I
but
never used it. I went straight from VGA straight to HDMI.
yeah, I did that, and now I'm on that transition where I'm using DisplayPort.
I don't know.
DisplayPort is replacing HDMI.
Uh, I'd have to give it a few more years though, because it's not a standard set on most systems.
I
It's
mean,
usually
all the graphics cards now, like the GeForce GTX cards now.
Oh no,
have
when we're
them.
talking about graphics cards, they're always going to be jumping the gun. But for right now,
Well, I mean, my motherboard has a DisplayPort on it now.
and mine does too.
Yeah.
It looks smetsy. It's not complete yet, folks. I've only gotten the first few parts. But the
All he could do is just stare at it.
Yes, but when I stare at it, I must agree. I touch myself.
Oh god.
Oh god.
But
anyway,
hey, when it... I'm fucking tired. I mean, it's like 10:29. I'm exhausted, but
it's a Thursday night, and we're still doing this for you people because we hate ourselves. And he
thanks.
loves you. I just like ranting.
No shit. What do you call it? I mean, this also comes down to like with the console problems. I mean, what sucked was you had a few people who won their PS4s through that Taco Bell promotion, which
Oh god.
why they're still doing that is beyond me. But they were told
Another
by
promotion in Australia where they put a PS4 at the bottom of a shark tank,
yeah, I
and
don't
they gave.
understand what the fuck that's all about. Whether they're gonna say, "Hey, you can dive in there with a snorkel
Actually, to
and
be
then try
honest,
to."
I don't remember if it was a PS4 or if it was an Xbox One or Xbone.
I think it's Xbox One. I think
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was an Xbone.
that's like Microsoft. Instead of saving everyone $100 in their console, we rather buy a Shark Tank.
Let natural selection do its thing.
Okay, are you brave enough to die for a shit console?
Oh god.
Hey, if it was a Force GTX 690 on the bottom of a tank, you bet your ass I'll swim down there.
I would bring water wings, okay? Because I would need a counter flotation device if I would dive that quickly. Also, it would look manly floating in a tank with water wings being surrounded by sharks. Come on. That would look manly.
Just be that guy. You have the water rings. You just fill them up with water.
Yeah, you just look directly at, yeah, I'm doing it. And then dog paddle. Dog paddle up to it and dive.
And if the shark comes, you just punch it in the face and keep going.
That or if it had like a pair of 780 Ti's.
All right. One last thing we're going to do, and then we're going to wrap up the show. That's it, right, guys? This is going to be a shorty, but a sweetie.
Yeah, we're trying to cut it down, trying to keep it lean,
Oh,
firm,
yeah. We're trimming the fat.
Yes. Trimming the butt.
One of the things I want to talk about is actually just walk down memory lane. What are your favorite moments of the PlayStation 3 launch?
Oh, God.
I remember where they were talking about. Remember the big thing was everyone was buying them up and selling them on eBay for like $1,000+.
Yep.
Or
For
the
like
part
2
where a
weeks.
guy gets robbed at gunpoint after buying his PS3.
I had an angry grandma. The angriest woman I had ever seen in my life. She didn't pre-order it, but she just walked in and presumed to everyone that she had pre-ordered it. And when I had to ask her for her ticket ID number or for any piece of evidence so I can actually look up, because we would just have to look up in our database and then say, hey, yeah, there it is. Okay, do you have this form of ID? Okay, perfect. We give it to you. One, she didn't have a form of ID. And two, she admitted after about 15 minutes of arguing back and forth, and I don't mean arguing like, adults, like, no, ma'am, this can't be. Well, yes, I blah, blah, blah. No. She was hitting the counter. She damn near swung her purse at me. Yes, this was like something out of a bad comedy. So much so, but at the same time, unfortunately, at the time, I had a pissant of a boss. This little shit. Oh my god. I think the only reason he got up there was because he was so short he was able to suck the dick of the regional manager. Because that's the only way I could have figured out that this guy, who was a complete and utter candy ass son of a bitch, could have gotten to such a, quote, high level, but at the same time know absolutely nothing about running a store. This guy ran the store. I was the main clerk at the time, and I had 2 other people working in the back. This was like 6 months in, and unfortunately, I was the guy with the most experience, and this was the first time I'd worked in like anything like that. I was still in high school when this happened. And this lady was just fucking pissed. It's like, what the hell is going on? This is during the weekend. And just, how do you explain to an old person that if it's not in the computer, I can't give it to you? You would think that once you explain that to someone, they say, okay, hey, there's nothing else you could do. No, she went on a fucking rant to the point that we actually had to call the police.
Holy shit.
We had to have her ass hauled out by 2 officers who were more scared than I was when it came to this crazy ass bitch, because that's the other thing that they don't tell you about. If they get hurt, it's our responsibility. The moment they get out of the store, not our responsibility. It's the police responsibility. So that's just total, absolute, anachronistic bullshit. That it's one thing that I never understood about it's not really hospitality, the service industry, when it came to something along the lines of the responsibility for the idiocy of your customers. Because when it came down to it, if a customer broke their neck inside your store, you're responsible. Outside your store, you're not responsible. I don't know. It's just weird, especially when people were actively doing it to get attention or to get something out of you.
Exactly.
There were people that tried everything. There was someone that came in with a reservation that they had made and canceled at another branch. It took me all of 5 minutes to figure this out. And my word still was not good enough because we had to call in between branches because each, I don't know if you've ever seen on your service code in the old days when you used to make a reservation, they printed out the receipt.
Yeah.
There was a 7 numerical and sometimes, depending on what branch it was, numerical and alphabetical code at the top and at the bottom. One was for your store. One was for the actual item. And so they were locked into place. And so that database was actually available everywhere. Like if you worked in one store, you knew if you had the code, you could find the information for one person's reservation at any store that was on the network, as long as you had the code. And you would be able to find out if they picked it up or not. It was kind of creepy.
Huh.
But anyway, and so she had gotten her money back, and she was picking it up supposedly for her niece or something. And then she just kept spouting bullshit. She was like, no, I never got my money back, so that means that my thing is still in there. It should still be in the system. Yeah. And then that's when I stopped and called the branch. And the branch simply told me a few words. We know who this bitch is. Don't give it to her. Click. So this customer was so well known at the previous branch, which I believe the previous branch was when they had one in Lodi. So she had gone from Lodi all the way down to Englewood Cliffs.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah. And that was fun. When I had to explain it, I actually had to bring out Mr. Candy Ass, and he had to tell the customer because by regulation, the moment we have a piece of evidence and the customer is unruly or something like that, he has to be brought out. In the previous issue with the crazy ninja grandma, that was straight up calling the police. I had to do it because the Candy Ass didn't come out of his office. He stayed locked in his office when it was happening.
He
so
was
I was
just
like,
jacking off his Wii.
I guess. Oh, God, the Wii launch. Oh, God, the Wii launch. So many grandmas. That was actually more civil, though. That wasn't as crazy as the PS3 launch with the crazy grandma, crazy ninja grandma. But, yeah, for the Wii launch, of course, every single kid who came after school with a fucking snickering, oh, it's called a Wii. Anyone who's ever worked at any of the store during a launch will tell you the same thing. It is the worst fucking experience of all. Why? Everyone wants it. Everyone tries to be happy and everything, but there's always going to be those 5 or 6 bitches online who's going to ruin it for everyone. If you come in and if anyone listening, if you have reserved at a GameStop or any game store like that, just have your ticket, have your money, and have the ID ready. You show those 3 things, That's it. You're in and you're out. You get on the line. It's a conga line of efficiency. Okay. When you are that dumbass who doesn't bring one piece of, you screw the line for everyone else. Know your role. Stay on the line. Don't cut. Don't be a dick. Bring your shit and make sure everything is counted. Why? Because it makes our life easier. If it makes our life easier, it's going to make your life easier because you're going to get your shit quick. I can tell you for a fact, we always did it. Whenever we saw someone who came in, they got the documentation, they got the money, they got the receipt, we checked it, double checked it, perfect. Here, it's already in the bag. There you go. Have a nice day. When you're a bitch to us, that's when we say, oh wait, we gotta check. Oh, we gotta double check. Hey, you did it from the wrong place. If you are a bastard to someone in the service industry, they will be a bastard to you. And remember, you're the one that needs the object of art that is behind the desk.
Lastly, since since you're bringing up all those things, what is your opinion on the whole lady that like the store manager of GameStop during the Grand Theft Auto 5 launch, where a guy brought his business card and tried to use that as ID for a pre-order that he made, and that she bitched at him?
No, she has every right to fucking bitch at him. That is so fucking stupid, and that actually happened more than once.
Okay,
people started bringing in some type of a business ID or something. No, you don't do that. You need a picture ID. Why? Because it's part of the law that was already implemented, and this was actually starting to be implemented when I worked there. When I left is when they went full ass on it, where they had to have a scan of whatever ID that you use in order to let you have the game.
Huh.
Why? Because that's the law, okay? We're not selling crack, but unfortunately, you bitchy, stupid-ass parents who can't do parenting and rather buy a video game to do the parenting for you made this a law. So fucking deal with it. You dug your hole, now stay in it.
That's actually not a law.
It's not a law, but they're not going to stop it. It's as good as a law. You're not going to get your shit unless you bring identification.
I just order on Amazon.
That's what I do. And as a guy who worked there, just do it on Amazon, man.
I hate like getting carded. It's just such a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass for you, and it's a pain in the ass for us. Because I can tell you, as someone who had to do it to people, I fucking hated it. I know this guy's above 18. He has a fucking beard. He's been smoking. He's got rings around his eyes. This guy's probably older than I am. But you know what I got to do? I got to card him. Why? Policy. If I don't card him, if I don't have, whenever you scan it before you make the purchase, the ID block that's taken from the card is locked onto the purchase and saved. If there is no ID block in that, it shows because I'm the one logged in the machine. So I'm gonna have to answer the question 10 minutes later when the supervisor sees and Mr. Candy Ass says, "Hey Andy, why doesn't this have a block ID? I told you so many times. You gotta card them." Yeah, yep. Flashbacks. Like back in Nam. People don't know how horrible that job is. You would think that working at a video game store would be great. No, working at a large-scale, like, commercial game store sucks balls because there's no talking about. It's not about like hanging around playing games or not. No. You're under watch the moment you're in and get you out. Everything that you touch is already marked and accounted for. There are a few stores that are lax that are mom and pop stores. Those are fun. And those that are like a mixture between comic books, figurines, and video games sometimes, that they buy stuff and sell stuff, those are the best shops. I worked at one only for a few months. It was the best fucking experience because you learn so much when people bring in memorabilia, buy video games on the side, stuff like that. That's a great store.
Well, that's why I love the digital press. It's like one of the best stores out there.
Like Digital Press or Nueva Linea here in Bergenline, which is a great fucking place. I've been finding so many fucking collectibles there because people just bring it not knowing how much it is, and they just sell it for like $10-$50.
I'm still debating on doing like a meet and greet at one of those stores.
Definitely should, and someone has to bring the beer.
Well, you can't drink at the store.
Says who?
Well, if you know the guy, then maybe.
There you go.
How would you feel if half of your customers are inebriated?
I promise you sales, good sir. I promise you sales.
Look, they're a little loose cannon when it comes to swiping the credit card. It's a win-win.
Who really loses from this, my friend?
Stay thirsty, my friend. Well, I would say at this point, we wrap it all up. Check out all the future videos I'm going to be making on the PS4. God hope I don't get one of those 40,000 consoles that are defective.
And you can be sure that when he gets it, there's going to be a video of the unboxing. There's going to be a video of the opening. There's going to be a video
I have
turning
never
on.
seen such a product get so many fucking unboxing videos. I'm serious. Like,
Wait. For everyone in the audience, including myself, want to know this. Is there going to be an unboxing video?
oh, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
No, but
You heard it first,
okay. Well,
folks.
here's the problem I have with all the unboxing videos. They have some fat, ugly ass guy doing the unboxing. The whole point of my videos are you are getting a first-person perspective. That's how I do my unboxings. That's how a lot of people do their unboxings on YouTube. But the problem is these so-called professionals decide, hey, I'm a guy wearing a fucking tie, and I probably never even know what the fuck a video game console is, but I'm going to unbox this for you. It's like, dude, at least me, you're gonna see every nook and cranny of these devices. You're gonna see me putting it in front of the fucking camera instead of having some camera
device porn. Just
Hell
jacking
it. Oh God. But okay.
Actually, that's what it is at this point. It's voyeuristic pleasure of gadgets. We don't deny it. We all love it because we love gadgets, and it's taken on this voyeuristic thing of. Do you remember unboxing videos before 2003 or before YouTube at all?
No.
This is like a new thing that's exquisitely specific to the internet.
Exactly. I would definitely say that unboxings just didn't happen on the internet during the last console launch. This is the first console launch that's happening. However, it's just weird though that everyone and their cousin just feels the need to do it.
Hey,
and unfortunately, look, the whole point of an unboxing and partially why I liked watching them was I didn't like professionals doing it. I liked the random person, stranger, whatever, that is legitimately excited about a purchase they just made and they just want to show their friends and the world how excited they are. That's a legitimate unboxing. The problem is with these manufactured unboxings, and yes, I'll call them that. They get the consoles a week or two in advance. So they have the gun on top of everybody. And plus, Shuhei Yoshida, what the fuck, dude? You said, quote, we're going to leave it up to the gamers to unbox the console. Yet, 2 days before launch, he releases a fucking unboxing video. Yes,
okay, this is going to be my last comment for this, and I want this to be something that the audience answers for me, because I haven't been able to find a direct answer. The unboxing video takes place in this weird kind of like futuristic whole bunch of panels in the background. You know the video I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that the same place where they showed the quote unboxing of the latest what was it? Daft Punk album?
Yes, it is the exact same set.
Isn't it the same as it is, isn't it?
Yes, because Sony owns Daft Punk.
Oh God. I knew I had seen that someplace else. I was like, dude, I've seen this. What the hell? And then I saw the unboxing of like the what was it, the B-sides album for the latest Daft Punk stuff from what's it called, Up All Night to Get Lucky and all that.
Yeah, that's random access memories. Yes,
Daft Punk, greatest band ever. I don't care what you say, I love them.
Yeah, I like them too. I just don't like that weird guy that sang "Get Lucky."
Oh no, that's some
falsetto
rapper
dude. Yeah, he's.
I don't understand why they went with the whole disco theme this time, but I
liked it. I thought it worked.
But you know what? It works. Okay, I like the song. Not a big fan of that one, the third guy. I got you, but you know what? Georgie can do no wrong for me.
So I wish all of you guys luck. Enjoy tomorrow's festivity of everyone saying, na 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 na, I got my console and you didn't. Da, da, da,
you know what?
da.
I don't care. My Nexus 5 arrives tomorrow. I shall endure a sense of glee that none of you shall know.
I'll watch your unboxing video on my Nexus 7. Oh, wait. I'll watch it on my HTC One. Wait, I'll watch it on my iPhone. Wait, I'm just going to watch it on my fucking computer.
Okay. You watch it on your... Nexus 7 works perfectly. HTC One, great, bright. On your iPhone, it fails.
Okay, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to watch it on my PS4.
Hug it out, bitches. Hug it out.
Take care, guys. Look out for future episodes. If the episode is somehow deleted, go to Vimeo.
Yeah, pretty much. Please put the. We're probably gonna put the Vimo link.
Look, there is no chance in hell this episode's getting cut off because I did
It's
not
gonna
put
get
any
cut.
clips. I didn't do anything.
I'm going to guarantee it's gonna get cut by this. Google fucking sucks. Viacom doesn't know what they're doing, and Sony can suck a dick. Oh no, wait, no, I'm sorry. And Google can fuck off, and once it has fucked off from there, it can keep fucking off until it gets back here and resume the fucking off. Platypus, everybody.